2, 1, get it done, make it happen. Get it while you can. It's a Monday night, y'all. Come on, let's go. Ah, shit. Hell yeah. We live up in this freaking John. Oh, baby. Let's see here. What is cracking? It's a Monday. Monday. Anybody checking in yet? Let's see. I don't know. It's a little bit early. Everybody's still freaking driving in and everything. Everybody's got to get coming in from work and doing all their stuff. So that's a big to do. It's Monday. We're just getting back in it and everything. So should be a thing. Hopefully it freaking works out really good and all that shit. So there we go. Everything is all systems are go on a Monday evening. So hope everybody's doing good, having a great week so far, and everybody had a great weekend. For those of you that I did see at Redwood, God bless you and God bless Redwood. What an amazing time. Super fun. You can't beat the weather up there at Redwood. Racing was fire. TJ, he brought the rig out there. Tangent was in the building. It was awesome. Had 26 motos on Friday, 57 for the state qualifier on Saturday, and then we had 11 rounding out the weekend yesterday on Sunday. But you can't beat the weather. You can't beat the food. You can't beat the staff. Best snack bar that you go to for and say enough about the folks up there at Redwood. They are fantastic. They are great folks. And everybody just get out there, support your local BMX track. Get the folks like the folks up there at Redwood. Hey, go support them. It's a good time. A little bit of a drive. Hey, you know what? But it's all good. It's all fine and dandy. It didn't work out like they had wished for. It was supposed to be a double header with McKinleyville and everything, and it didn't end up happening. The track's been done since October last year. They're waiting for their parks department to finish off the rest of the facility. So they couldn't have their doubleheader this weekend like they had planned for and hoped for. So but yeah, no, that sucks. So hopefully next year they get their doubleheader with McKinleyville. But still, you got to at least go to Redwood at least once, man. The ocean is right there. It's right behind turn one. It's a 5-minute walk through the sand. It is a great time. It honestly really is. So hope everybody's doing good. And I know there's a handful of other state races that went down too this weekend. So everybody chime in, tell us where you were at and how you did and what tracks you were for. I know my homie Justin up there at All Things BMX in Michigan was down at Traverse City getting in a state weekend with their qualifier. They had side hacks at Sand Springs, which was stop 1 of 2 for the little side hack series that Arthur over there at Northwest Arkansas is putting on. And they had a great turnout. I believe they had 5 hacks, and then they ended up having 3 in the main and stuff. So big shout to our homies over there, Charles and Cord over there at AOS Squared, taking the W over there at Sand Springs. Sand Springs is really, really fun. We did side hacks out there last year on Grand's weekend, which it was 100 and something yesterday with 80% humidity or however the heck you say it, and took the win. Last time I was there, it was like 28 degrees and rode it with Charles. So that was cool. So big shout out to those guys. I know Arthur was out there with his monkey. I don't know what the other 2 teams were that were out there, but big shout out to them on getting the side hacks popping, so good on them. So hey, hope everybody's doing good. Appreciate everybody going. What's up, Hartman? How you doing, brother? Oh yeah, dude, calling the races at Redwood, man. Redwood was freaking great, dude. It was fantastic. The weather was perfect. It was great to get out of the valley. A lot of people got out of the valley. There was a handful of people from the 559 up there. You know, there were some Body D riders. There was some California S Square riders up there. The Vincents showed up. A lot of people from Manzanita came up. So there was a handful of people in the Central Valley, the Central Valley. What's up, Stu? Stu Kelly. What's going on, Stu? From It's Just BMX. How you doing? Yo, Jake Reeves. What's happening, Jake? How are you, brother? Yeah, no, it was really cool. There was a lot of people that made the trip. You know, it's funny. You know, Hartman, like it's pretty wild, right? I mean, like it's already a drive for me here in Manteca to go up to Redwood. It's like 6 hours, right? So you add another two because you guys are like 2 hours away from me. That's eight, okay, one way, right? There was a family from way down in SoCal, out of Yokaipa, the home track of the world's okayest announcer, Mike Miller, from Yokaipa. What's up, Cord? How you doing, bro? Yeah, dude. Yokaipa is, dude, that's further than Dirty Fest. I want to say like Yokaipa is like 7 hours from me. That's like a 13, 14 hour drive, like with a handful of stops. Oh my God. Talk about freaking diehards, bro. Like that shit was ridiculous. I was like looking at the motor sheet. I'm like, damn, Yokaipa. I'm like, you all the way up here? People already thought I was crazy for being up there. Like that was crazy. It was nuts. I want to try to make the trip next year with that 5 minute beach wash. Oh, dude, Hartman, I'm telling you, dude, it's great. Stu Kelly, home from the worlds. What a week. Great to meet you, young Rick. Hey, appreciate it. Hey, you know what? Thank you guys for watching over my boy. What's up, Shane? How you doing, Shane? Hey, great show, dude, with Kevin and Danny with TC. You know, TC had some good info, and he had a little bit of twisted info too, because there's a twist. I made a comment on it, and you know I don't expect TC to know it, but it was kind of funny. So I made the comment in there because you know he was talking about with Florida versus California. It was cool, but you know TC you know it was cool. It was good. Great show though. You guys killing it. You know, you lining up all the guests over there and Kevin and Danny making it happen. It was cool. I came home, I watched that, and then I caught up on Downhill. So that was really cool stuff, Shane. Keep lining them up, bro. Oh yeah, totally crazy, Hartman. Totally. Oh, dude, I was blown away. But it was cool. You know, 57 motos. You know, last year they had a Gold Cup, and then like I was saying, and the plan was they were supposed to have a doubleheader with McKinleyville. You know, and the bad part, the crazy part that a lot of people are going that are dealing with, like Chico, McKinleyville, and I believe Nick over there at Morgan Hill. Uh, like they're getting the tracks done. The tracks are good. They're ready to roll. But then they're what's up, Robert? Of course, Underwood, dude. Hey, I love going up to Redwood, man. You ain't gotta thank me, dude. Thank you guys for having me. It's a privilege. It's an honor. Uh, all these tracks are getting done, but they're worried about, oh well, you can't open up the BMX track because the softball fields aren't done. The bathrooms aren't really built. Apparently they ain't heard about Porta Potty 6. Like it's BMX, man. We just want to race. We just want to go race. You know, you can't go and build a track and let it sit for a year because then you got to resurface the damn thing. You know, it's stupid. But anyhow, yeah, they're worried about, oh well, the pickleball field ain't done. No, but the BMX track's done. Shit, open that shit up. God damn. You know, we just want to go race. We don't care. Damn. You know, but anywho, there ain't nothing we can do with the parks and recs departments where the tracks are at. You know, what's up, Alvin? How you doing, Peter? But you know that's neither here nor there. For another day. What's up, Shreddy Eddie? What's going on, brother? Hey, my favorite Walski. What's happening, Brando? How you doing, buddy? Just here on a Monday. Got home a little late. I mean, could have done a show last night, you know, but it was late, you know, unpacking and all that stuff. I know we're West Coasters and everything, but I want everybody else to see it, you know. Still recuperating, Peter. Good. Hey, trust the process, bro. Let it heal, man. And it was like, all right, you know what? Hey, we'll go live today, and then Mikey's like, hey, dude, I got to go to a ball game. I'm like, dude, go to the ball game, bro. Just go chill, go relax. I got this. No problem. Um, so a lot of big news. We're going to be having Justin Tompkins call in about the track versus track challenge with the voting and the top 32 with the brackets. So we're going to be having Justin call in with that. There's a lot of big news locally for that, for a handful of our tracks that are in that top 32. So Justin is going to be dropping some knowledge here in a little bit. What's up, Jenny Joe? How you doing, girl? Yeah, we had Arthur was on earlier about an hour, 2 hours ago with Northwest Arkansas and with all his news. So that was good. Oh, doing great, Jenny Joe. Hey, talking BMX, having fun. Today's my Saturday, so it's even better. Justin called into there, so Justin's going to be calling into here too here shortly, and give us the rundown on how the brackets are going to go for the track versus track challenge coming up this weekend for the special show. He's not going to do it on Wednesday, which on Wednesday he has a special guest, Cheeto, the Mad Viking Drury. So what's up, TJ? Good to see you, brother. You are looking fantastic, my friend. You're back to your stripper weight, dude. Great to see you this weekend, TJ. Always love hanging out with you, brother. So yeah, the track versus track challenge. I mean, there's a little bit more behind the scenes stuff going on with it. But it's really cool. It's ramping up to be really something big. It's almost like a virtual state series across the states between all these tracks. Like, it's really ramping up to be something really, really good. So I wanted to get on in time for everybody across the states and everybody here on the West Coast with us and our handful of tracks that are involved with it to keep it going. Because Saturday, what's up, Clay? How you doing, bro? There's going to be a special show. It's going to be a joint show with us on the Beer Budget, Dan Darnell with Going Rogue, Arthur from Northwest Arkansas, and Justin, Halana, Chris Beers over at All Things BMX to give us all the rundown of this whole bracket thing and the top 32 tracks out of the whole United States. Okay. Yeah, it's been way too long, TJ. Trust me, I'm working hard, dude. I'm trying to get a different shift and I'm trying to get a different job so I can get back to the BMX weekend thing, bro. I'm telling you. It has been way too long. Definitely miss it, but you know what? Gotta do what you gotta do to pay the bills. Gotta say a big happy birthday to my twins, Ricky and Macy. They made it back yesterday morning from Australia, so they're back safe. Ricky's feeling a lot better after all that action that happened in Australia. He had a misplaced rib and everything. Threw a chain on the Tuesday, and it was just like it kind of just spiraled out of his hands. There was nothing he could do, but proud of him, proud of his effort. Love my kids, and I'm glad they're back safe. And it's just BMX. Them boys, oh, dude, I can't say enough about them. They really freaking do a hell of a job out there. And it's a blessing to have friends in other countries, that can go and be like, hey, dude, we got your boy over here, and we're just keeping an eye on him, and I appreciate it so much. We did have Dozer. He called in last week, giving us a whole rundown on the UCI cancellation. So that was a great show last Sunday with a lot of eyes being opened on what really happened and on what made the call, which was still kind of bogus, So, but that was great, So big shout to Stewie and Dozer. Appreciate those boys, love those guys, and wish we could afford you. TJ, hey, I ain't got that big of a price tag, dog. Hey, I'm budget, baby. Budget. So budget, I got banners in my living room, dude. Oh, Jesus. Other than that, I hope everybody's doing good. We got a handful of things going on. We did have X Games that happened this weekend, which was really cool. We had Pro Downhill Series down in Big Bear, down in SoCal, which was pretty freaking amazing. I caught up on a lot of that stuff on the laptop while I was up at Redwood and Samoa. And then when I got home last night, it was really cool. So it's the benefits. Being a bikeaholic, it's a thing. Just love riding, man. So like I said, hope everybody's doing good. Everybody had a good weekend. Justin's going to be calling in here shortly and giving us the rundown of this whole bracket series of the track versus track challenge. A lot of big sponsors on the line. If there's any other companies out there that want to get in on this, it's really turning out to be something big. And we tried a fakie challenge a handful of years ago that nobody wanted to be a part of, except for Jim Seifert. Big shout to Hacksaw. Hacksaw is so solid on that one. But now this track versus track deal is getting to be something really amazing. And I don't know. It's getting ready to blow up. It's like the March Madness of BMX tracks throughout the states. Let's see here. That, and I had to make sure I had to go live at a decent time because Justin is like 2.5 hours difference from us. You guys got any news or anything? What's up, Lee Hoove? What's going on? Too hot in Vegas to ride right now, driving me nuts. I can only imagine, Lee. Okay, here we go. Justin Tompkins, my brother. How are you, birthday boy?
Oh, I heard you have a couple birthdays out there in your neck of the woods.
Yes, sir. Well, you know how the syndicate rolls, dude. If it's one person's birthday, it's everybody's birthday, baby. Come on, you kicked it off hard yesterday with your birthday, son.
Well, it was a great birthday weekend. The family took me up to Traverse City, Michigan. The Michigan BMX community was up there for the second to last stop on the Michigan State BMX Championship Series. It was a great time, and we had some fun racing. Alana Peño got in the mix. She had some big classes, had a good turnout there for her classes. She did really good. And she keeps improving, buddy. So she's listening to what you guys are telling her. And
well, you know, I mean, she's got that Crenshaw frame and some Gate 9 hoops, but I mean, so it's kind of hard. It just kind of keeps on going. You know what I mean?
It's fast. That's right.
The bike kind of just rides itself at that point.
And don't forget, she's locked in on 8-degree pedals.
Well, you got to have the 8-degree pedals, man. You can't go forward if you ain't got a good set of pedals.
Mm-hmm. Well, how was your weekend? I heard you had a state race too.
Yes, sir. We were up there by the border of almost Oregon. It was great. It's actually our second to last state qualifier before our finals. We have one more coming up at the middle of August, and then our state finals is until the first weekend of October and stuff. But ripped it off really good. The cool thing is, like, the beach is a 5-minute walk behind turn 1 over there. It's literally on an island up there in way NorCal.
Very nice.
And I'm talking like way NorCal, bro. It's 6 hours for me. And the clincher was, you know, you announce, you know, you see the moto sheets, you see where everybody's from. You wouldn't believe this, okay? Because, you know, Dirty Fest is about 6 hours south of where I'm at, right? Well, there was a rider from Yokaipa, from the world's okayest announcers home track, which is about a 7.5-hour drive for me. They put in a 14-hour run one way, bro. It's like Smokey and the Bandit trying to take cores over state lines into Georgia, son.
That's a haul for a state race, and kudos to them for their dedication.
I'm telling you, bro. I was just like, dude, do you want to announce? Like, here, take it. Like, you're the man. You guys are cool.
Hey, well, you know, speaking of Mikey, the world's okayest announcer, he sent me some good, juicy tidbits on our guest that's coming up Wednesday night, Mr. Cheeto Dorito.
Dude, himself. I tell you what. Oh, my God, bro. Cheeto, the Mad Viking on a Wednesday? Oh, my God.
Dude. We're excited. We're very excited.
Everybody needs to be excited. If you don't know Cheeto, and like, Cheeto's the man. This guy, he could run for like Congress. This dude.
I'm hoping to hear the behind the scenes stories. Mike left a lot of teasers for me to ask. And then, did you see Cheeto's post today where he dropped? He's got a big one he's going to announce on the show Wednesday, so he wants everyone to tune in.
Well, I mean, and you're picking the best Wednesday night show that you could drop any kind of news on.
It's the only Wednesday night show, right?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I'm saying. And Cheeto's a big local over here, so you're gonna be drawing a lot of West Coasters, in the chat room on Wednesday, brother.
That's great because we can let everyone know Wednesday night and remind them, because if they have too much fun tonight on your show with Uncle Donnie's BMX Retros, that
Uncle Donnie too. He's another one.
Saturday, you're going to be joining us, and so is Northwestern Arkansas BMX Podcast Show and Going Rogue for the 2026 World Championship track shootout brackets reveal, where we're going to have all the shows on, and we're going to reveal the brackets, and hopefully we invite. It's not hopefully, they're invited. It's hopefully we get some actually just representatives from the tracks that are in the brackets to call in, talk some trash, get this thing kicked off on the fun, on the FU of having fun.
It is definitely the big FU. And like I was telling everybody, giving everybody the rundown of what kind of the topics were for the show tonight, and doing it on the Monday with it being too late last night. I want to make sure everybody from coast to coast gets involved with this because of this bracket rundown. This is the ultimate kind of virtual state race series versus all the states. Brought to you by All Things BMX.
It's All Things BMX. It's 8 Degree Pedal, Dye Apparel. It's our friends over at Gate 9. It's you guys at Beer Budget BMX, Going Rogue Podcast Show, Northwest Arkansas BMX Podcast Show. Without you guys, these things don't happen. And we're really, really excited about it. And as you're saying, we're gonna wean down, right? We're gonna go a super or a Sweet 16.
You gotta do a knockout round. I mean, you gotta go and cut the 32 into half. You gotta find the top 16.
So then it's gonna go. Well, that's right off the rip, right? We're gonna have 32
right off the rail,
or 32 tracks. They're gonna square up in a 16 shootout. So right after that 16, there's gonna be some tracks knocked out that might not get along with other tracks, but
oh boy,
they might be like, look, dude, we got to represent our state, so we might have to kind of help get some votes for them.
That it is, it's almost kind of like what they did with X Games. They had NOLA, Team Tokyo, Team LA. This is like where some tracks they're gonna have to suck it up and be like, okay, well, we didn't make the final 3 or the final 16. Now we gotta kind of band together, because there's a lot of tracks that are kind of close together, and then there's some that are kind of spread out between some of these the bigger states. You know what I mean, bro?
Yes. Yeah. And we will be, when I run this and then get the brackets laid out, I'm gonna reach out to some of the tracks and be like, if you got anyone that wants to hop on, here, let's get it set up.
Oh yeah.
Because it's about having fun, right? But we do have some really great things that the tracks can win. So, the winning track is going to get 4 sets of 8 Degree pedals, your choice of color and size. That's awesome.
That's almost $1,000 just on pedals.
Yeah, and you can do what you want. You if you want to give them to some of your all-star volunteers, go ahead. If you want to raffle them off because you need some soil tack or slurry, or you need clay, go ahead. If you want to do them in a raffle basket, go ahead. Whatever you want to do. We got a set of rims from Gate 9, custom design number plates.
Buttery.
And you could raffle these off, because the winner can pick whatever size and whole configuration, brake or no brake, that they want. Right?
Yeah.
And then also you're going to end up with a custom award from Dye Job Apparel. It could be something you hang up in your registration, concession, wherever, hanging out on your track. Could be a pair of thongs. We don't know.
You never know. You never know from Dye Job. I mean, everybody's got a pair of thongs from Dye Job. I mean, who doesn't Dye Job sponsor? At Gate 9. Gate 9 is a huge sponsor. For those of you guys that don't know, they sponsor the All Things BMX show. They sponsor the Beer Budget. They sponsor J&R.
Yeah.
The bike shop team. Like, J&R ain't no slouch, man. I know a kid that has some of them Gate 9's buttery hoops there, bud.
They move.
They go. They fast.
They got Factory Team Fluffy over here up on the podium this weekend in Traverse City.
Gotta love Factory Fluffy. I tell you what, there, bud. Wow.
We're not quite a 2XL, but we're still living in the XL life.
That's okay though. Does
That's
Cheeto
right.
wear a thong? That's in that. That just came across in the chat. I
I
don't
don't
know.
want to give any spoilers away, but his big announcement could be possibly about Julian.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the man thong. I don't want to give too much away. It's
I did see him in a
I'd like to leave it
two-piece,
there.
a two-piece kind of like mankini at Dirty Fest earlier
Yeah.
this a month ago at
Mhm.
DF4. You know.
Well, he's a big proponent of getting money from outside BMX into the sport. And what other better way than, some Julian man thongs?
Yeah, I mean, hey, kind of like a stripper, but he's not a stripper. I mean, he's just straight up bro code, dude. He's a BMXer. What's
That's what
up,
we do.
Dozer? Man, got Dozer. Man, we got it. It's just BMX is checking in here tight, Justin. Oh man, do you think that like this could roll over into Australia with this track versus track
Well,
option? Do you
I
think
don't.
they might be checking in on us, lurking in the shadows, bro?
So I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a wild card.
Oh,
There is a wild card that we're gonna have, and come Saturday we'll be announcing the international wild card into the 16 it's a 32 track bracket.
yes.
Which means 16. It's 16 shootouts. That's going to kick it off, and in there we will have an international wild card.
Ooh,
so
wow.
You like our good friend Sean down under there. Start getting up any of them tracks. Get them ready, because when they get seated, it is time to vote. Now, those of you guys that you've seen the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, and think the NCAA basketball brackets here. Maybe
definitely.
If you root for a college like I do, you're constantly in the NIT, but you don't have just one vote in this situation, right? You can vote for your favorite track. Say your favorite track is going against my favorite track. You go vote for your track.
Mm-hmm.
You got 15 other in the first round. You have 15 other shootouts you can go vote for. Amazing. And the voting is going to be handled by Survey Monkey. We'll have the links up, and this is bracket. This is this bracket 16 bracket, and then the winners will move on to the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and then we're going to go to the championship shootout. And at that point, it's it's everyone for everyone there, because you're going to have to make some alliances if you get past there and say now you're looking at your track and you're like, you get to that Elite Eight. And it could be I'm just rooting for this track because it's from my home state,
right,
my home region, my home country. Maybe you never know.
Hey, I'm over here like I'm stuck in the middle, bro. Last time I seen the points, before you close it off, I had six tracks here in California. It's like, oh, how is this gonna all pan out? I'm pulling for all six of the tracks over here in Cali on our coast. And it's just like, do I gotta be the devil's advocate? Like, do I gotta be the interim coach? And on trying to get these tracks in there, get more votes, get your people lined up. Like, let's go and try to make it happen. Like, oof, man, it's tense, bro. I mean, we couldn't even make the fakie challenge happen, but now you go and you throw in a track versus track statewide.
Man, and thank you everyone that went on and nominated tracks. Thank you for everyone that started following our page because of this. It was amazing, overwhelming. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And I was mentioning this on Arthur's show earlier. If you're a company, if you're in the BMX world, we really want you to be part of this, man. We're looking right now for a grip company to jump in. That would be pretty cool. Let's get like 8 sets of grips or maybe 10, something like that. But man, look, anything would be rad. Maybe you're not in the BMX world and you just have your own little company going. You're like, well, how could I help? Like, simple, man. Like, dude, you can put cash in this because the tracks always need cash. Like, one of my tracks here in Michigan, they used to say, look, dude, you could sponsor the concession. Yeah. Like, we need a couple $100 and you sponsor the concession. Well, you want to do cash and put cash into this, we'll take a cash award and hand it over to those tracks, send it over to them, because that helps, right? So you think like, well, $200, $100. Well, that's a lot of waters, man. And that's a lot of waters that make a lot of money for these tracks, right? So it all helps, man. We're really want to get right down to the grass level and help the tracks out and have fun doing it. So we do a lot of stuff. You know this, Rick. We've done it together, even with Going Rogue and Arthur's show over there, the Northwest Arkansas podcast, where we get things that we do and we get individual winners, right? You know, we have our prize packs for the trivia, Going Rogue. You guys have done your gifts, and this is our chance as the podcast have come together to really push this, promote this, get the word out, how we're going to help tracks and do this and have some fun with the tracks, right?
Right. Oh yeah, no, it's huge. I mean, even if you get like you got somebody, okay, like you know TJ from Tangent, he's in here. You know, maybe you get like On Two Wheels is in there. You know, Full Tilt could be lingering around. Got Dan's Comp, big sponsor of the beer show. You know, hey, maybe throw in some tires. You know, for some of these tracks, their loaner programs. Maybe they need to get some of their loaner bikes updated and going on. You know, you never know. Tubes. You know, like you said, the grips are a big thing. You know. Or seats, you know, something. You never know, you know. But it's a big thing. It's a big boost in the arm for the tracks for sure, and it gets everybody involved. It gets the parents of those local tracks involved as well. You know, like it really ramps it up.
Here's where if you're sitting there and you're maybe TJ, and you know from Tangent, this donation you're going to make or hopefully make. These are going to get in front of riders that haven't made their decision on who they buy from yet. Right. Wink, wink. You know, they're not and they're maybe not dedicated to a competitor yet. So that's where, you know, it's a little bit of a help there because it's getting in front of those purchasers and those buyers. You know, this isn't given to the already national rider per se or regional rider that has his carbon rims already or has his he's dedicated to, he or she is dedicated to a brand for handlebars and so forth. We could go on.
Yeah.
But again, you know, this is helping. Again, at the end of it, it's helping out the tracks. And you know, this is the start. We do it another year, it's even bigger, and it continues to get bigger. You know, it's just more, and it's fun and gets funner and funner each year.
Oh, for sure, definitely. What's up, Amanda Lewis? How you doing? You know, and with Sean and Stewie, you know, checking in from It's Just BMX. You know, I know Lux BMX over there in Australia is really huge. You know, maybe you get Lux in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get Big Bruce over there at Lux. You know, to chime in. You never know. Like it could be a real big thing there, JT. You know, you're onto something. You know, you get all these other like bike shops in there, like I was talking about, like On Two Wheels. You know, Dortona up there at DB. You know, you're throwing in a couple 1.8" tires, like for the little kids, like because those are the ones. You know, you got to keep those little kids rolling. You know, some tires, some grips. You know, that's a big thing. What's up, Andre? How you doing, homie? No, dude, I can't wait for Saturday, bro. Like, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be tight.
We're gonna have a good time. Everyone listening, it's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, so you know 6:30 out there. If you're on the West Coast with Rick, if you're in between us, if you're that meat in between that sandwich, you're gonna be 7:30. And it's no, you're not 6:30. If we're got 9:30, right? You're 7:30.
I'm 6 o'clock right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna be on. Sorry, I misspoke. We're gonna start 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, so it'll be 7:30 California time.
Perfect.
Right. So you might be on your way back from the track. You might be leaving the track. Pop us on. Chime in.
Everybody's got a phone. Even if you're at the track, you can watch it on the phone.
Turn it on at the track. Yeah, watch it on your phone.
Put it on. You never know, because hey, your track could be up for grabs that night.
Yeah. And also, we're gonna go to your page too. You want to do that, Rick?
Yeah, we can definitely go.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll be on all things. We'll be on Beer Budget also.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Yes. Yeah. No, we'll definitely. It's gonna be a joint operation. I mean, between 4 podcasts. Like, yes.
Yeah. It's this is going to be a good time. And again, anyone interested, you can reach out to Rick or Arthur or Going Rogue or myself directly. I'm going to put my phone number in the chat, but most people know how to get a hold of us.
Mm-hmm.
And again, whatever you come up with, it's cool, man.
We're not hard to find there, bro.
No, we're not. Yeah, it'll be cool.
Oh man, breaking news from Mike Miller down in Yokaiba. He said he can't watch the podcast because it's too windy right now.
It's too windy.
It's too windy. Big shout out to the UCI on that one. Close your windows, Miller. Come on. He's got the AC blowing or something. You never know. Leave it to the world's okayest announcer, right? Miller comes in hot.
We can't postpone it. We're sorry.
We just can't. Sorry, there's no time tomorrow to do this. Sorry, Miller.
It's only the 4 hours we have this day.
We only have a certain time frame right now. We can't do it. Sorry. That's the best part about doing these shows, Justin. That's the best part about doing these things, dude. With all our friends. Oh, Stu Kelly's like, ouch. Oh, he's like, ouch. Oh, the chat is great right now.
Kudos to them pros, and tip of the cap to all you. A big F you to UCI. You guys are chodes. You guys are absolute chodes.
What a chooch. My God, bro.
They just, God dang. No, they're about as, you know what? They're about as hard as one ply.
They are. Definitely. We've had we've had thicker in 2026.
A bunch of worms running an organization they've never. My understanding, dude, most of them don't even BMX, never BMX'd.
It doesn't surprise me, dude. I mean, I was watching them and their body actions and everything like all week, like watching how they do it. It's like they're so pinkies out, dude, like eating their cheese and drinking their wine. Like, man, this is kind of like ridiculous. This is kind of stupid. You know, kind of like when the dude hit the escape button on the gate and everybody freaking flipped. Like, what the hell happened? What are you doing, dude?
Oh no!
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. No. We don't. No.
Well, I mean, hey, the good thing is that everything's going through Survey Monkey and not Scores, so we're good. Well, tracks don't need tracks don't need a transponder for this.
No transponder needed.
No, definitely. So you don't have to worry about a subscription for the track versus track. We're Gucci. We're sitting really good. You don't need a membership. You don't got to worry if your battery's charged or anything like that. Like you're going to get scored in this competition.
100%. There's might be bias and bonuses or legends and things down the road. We like to keep it spicy.
We're all about spicy, dude. I mean, well, you got jalapeno, taquerita, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it don't get any spicier than that right now between the shows there, bro.
Yeah. Laura Rito, we've added her.
Laura Rito, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's good times.
The roster's getting thick, bro.
It's the Factory Taco team.
Factory Taco is getting really big. It's going to need more than a truck. Gonna need a trailer, dude.
She got her jalapeno got her stickers today.
No kidding. Oh man, dude, she's man, dang. You better watch out, man. I mean, the conversations at the dinner table got to be crazy. Like she's Factory Taco Tuesday jalapeno, and your ATB. I mean, I can only imagine what the conversations are at the dinner table going with that, dude.
She sees the budget that all things BMX runs on and knows there's no room.
Well, you can't. I mean, when you got Chris Beers on the payroll, bro, like the guy's a national champion.
National champ.
He approves everything.
He changed the game.
He does. I mean, he's playing golf with Kid Rock, Ted Nugent, and freaking Bob Seger. I got nothing. I mean, he's the only guy that has 8-degree freaking golf clubs.
I guess the 8-degree ones swing for you.
They do it all, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like freaking DoorDash. I don't know. I don't get it. We're not on that level yet, bro. One of these days, we'll be there. That's all I can say. We just got to keep chomping at the bit and pushing.
Just keep working away. What the kids say, stay on the grind.
Yeah. Keep your nose to the grindstone. Everything will be fine. It'll buff.
Yeah, I mean, Arthur, it is sort of like a version of the Royal Rumble. There's going to be 32 teams that enter, and only one winner, man.
That is a good freaking, and that's coming from the Undertaker. Okay, that's coming from Arthur Anders from Northwest Arkansas. That is a
Mm-hmm.
good analogy right there. Yeah. Hey, 32 tracks enter, only one track leaves. That is good. I mean, I can only imagine like how's it going to be after we get through and figure out the top 16.
We go, well, you know, 32 go in, 16. That's a shootout of 16. We go to the Elite Eight after that. Elite Eight right off the rip. There's going to be
Man, it's
there's
like
going to be an upset in first round. There's going to be an upset, and then we're going to go right to the Elite Eight, and it's just you're going to have that wild card happen. What do they call it? The underdog is all going to happen in that first one.
Straight up Thunderdome, exactly, Cord. That is exactly it. I mean, we're not even doing eighths. We're going straight to quarters and semis. That's it.
16th quarter semis, main event.
That's it. Get ready, buckle up, baby. It's gonna be a doozy on Saturday. It's gonna be a doozy on Wednesday. Just saying, with the Mad Viking.
Yes.
You know, Cheeto Jury.
Look, Mad Viking. This was the part of the reason I want to do this show Saturday with you guys. Is I didn't want to reveal the bracket. I know I said this, like we're going to reveal the bracket on the show with the Mad Viking, but the Mad Viking is going to need his own show.
He definitely does. He does.
Yeah.
They both need their own show. You know, because it would definitely be a big thing. And you know what? The Mad Viking being over here in the West Coast, he's got a big push on some of these tracks out here too, where I'm at. Mm-hmm. Like he could be the flagship for 3, and I could be the flagship for 3. So I mean, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a big head-to-head battle between the Midge and the Viking.
I mean, I am going to say this: at Ridgefield Park's TO, it's Holly. She was out bribing nominations the other week with hot dogs at the track. That was Wednesday night. That's look, it's the reason we didn't have a show.
Yeah.
You bribe all things BMX with a hot dog, I'm there.
Did you run the hot dog through the garden? Did you get the onions and the relish and all the good shit on that thing?
When it's a wiener time, it's just wieners. I don't need anything special.
Dude, don't let any district moms hear that, dude.
Just a plain old wiener.
Well, you never know, because Hollywood Mike Miranda might show up with Daisy the Duck at a Porta Potty 6, dude, just out of nowhere. You never know. He could be hiding at any track, you know? If we can get Hollywood Mike Miranda to show up to one of the top 16 after the brackets,
well, he better have his own track in there.
He better get Mingus Mountain, dude. I tell you what, get Chang Star, start freaking getting in there. You're in the Hall of Fame for a reason, bro. Same thing. Holly Dunn, HFD, baby. Yeah. So
it's I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys. And Wednesday night can't get here quick enough. Yeah, man, like what a fun week, right? We got a great fun week after Worlds. And you know who's going to be on the week after?
Enlighten us, brother. Tell us.
After Cheeto, it's going to be the most visited guest to the All Things BMX show, World's BMX coach extraordinaire, track operator.
That one guy, Jean-Paul Hernandez. Jean-Paul Hernandez. Yeah, I've heard of him. He's been on there a couple times.
He has co-hosted with me in person. He's been on the show numerous times. He is the most visited to the show. And, Mr. Nick Jones, a.k.a. Peter Dean Hernandez, is going to be there hot off his, I think it's like his 4th or 5th Worlds trip.
Man, so I'm excited he's worldwide, dude. He's more worldwide than Pitbull, dude.
Yeah, for sure. He's Nick's Mr. International Platinum. And
done.
Pitbull's
right
gold.
there.
It's just a different level. It's
a
different waiting room. So he'll be on the week after, man, and it'll be fun because that'll be a good time. Everyone will be able to, take a deep breath, and then, we're going to get to hear firsthand, his take and, the stories that happen that we don't hear about because we're not there. And
the behind the scenes stuff over there at Worlds. I mean, dude, it's got to be pretty interesting. It's definitely got to be different because you had him or we had him on after the Rock Hill fiasco. at Worlds, and that was with like the challenge series and everything getting canceled.
Mhm.
This year was different, because the pros got canceled, so it didn't affect the challenge series. So I'm thinking like it's going to be a more in depth outlook from Nick on the World's experience, with him and his group that he was coaching. I know he coached cruisers and he did a group of little kids. I don't know what age group and class, but no, it definitely should be a doozy of a show. Well, it's always great with Nick.
Yeah, look, we can say it; it's nothing bad, but a lot of people were focused on the elites being canceled. And, you had a lot of talk, a lot of yelling, a lot of, pitchforks kind of carrying over the next couple of days. And we did miss, some of the good stuff that happened. And Nick's going to come in. We're going to talk about the good things and the great things that happened, after the elite stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I'm looking forward to that one. I mean, there's a lot on the plate here for the podcast regime that we have coming up these next couple of weeks. So which is good. Hey, we need it. The sport needs it, and you know what? It's even better that we get to be a part of it.
Yeah. Well, we're a group where we've always said it. We just want to have fun with BMX and make it better with what we have. And that's what we're trying. And again, if you are a company or just an even private person, man, and you want to jump in on helping this track versus track thing, like we said, the money helps the track out. If it's not a product or something you can toss in, we'll take it. We'll get it. We'll advertise you. We'll promote you. Do what you need. We appreciate everything. We appreciate everyone that's shared it. It's been over like 600 shares. That's so awesome to see that. And
that's so
I love
amazing.
when I open up my social media that it immediately is just, something to do with seeing tracks, telling tracks to go get involved in this. It's great. It's a good feeling. Thunder, thank you so much for letting me jump on tonight. I can't thank you guys enough. And
of course,
I look
Justin, love
Saturday.
you, bro.
You guys have a great night, all right?
Definitely. You do the same, JT. Enjoy it and have a good one. And let me know if you find anything on that El Camino there, bro.
I'm on it, buddy.
All right, baby. I'll talk to you later there, bro. All right. We just had Justin Tompkins giving us the big rundown of the track versus track challenge. Oh, my goodness. Lord, baby Jesus. Whew, my goodness. Man. It's gonna be a tight one. It's gonna be a tight one on Saturday. We're taking the top 32 and cutting it down to 16 between 4 podcasts. That's gonna be a good one. I know over here in the States, yes, Cardoza. I will slap the boy in the back of the head for you. Appreciate it, Robert. Love you. Oh yeah. Hey, Tall Ricks all around. Hey, it, Dozer. Of course, brother. Yes, stick with Nick Giffey. You know how it is. What's up, Burgess? Burgess, legend. Jeff Burgess up in the chat. What's up, Jim Bean? How you doing, Jim? Yeah, Thunderdome, of course, Cord. Big thing, so getting in some of the world stuff. They did have the New England Nationals this weekend on top of a handful of state races that were going across the U.S. They're in the 117 range, a little like under 120. National numbers are still a little bit on the low side. I don't know, still not that great. It's definitely a different thing than what most of us are used to seeing on the national side. But it is what it is, and the big red ATM machine truck just keeps on trucking. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, nationals aren't my thing anymore. I'm not a big national fan of it. I'm perfectly fine with our state series that we have going on over here. Like I said, big shout to Redwood Empire. Oh, hold on. Wait, hold on. Camera's backwards. Wait, hold on. What the hell? All right, there. Got the new apparel. Got Sasquatch on there. Trying to get a Vegas track on there. Yeah, Lee. Hey, get the Vegas tracks. You got a lot of Vegas tracks over there. Get it in there. Hope Rick Jr. is feeling better too. Hope he's not hurting too much now. The flight home would have been interesting. Yeah, no, he's you know what, Sean, he's doing a little bit better. He's standing up a little bit more straight. He's not in as much pain as what he was. So he's doing a little bit better. I think being home uh, and getting some sleep really helped. But I mean, I think with everything, being hurt after throwing the chain on the Tuesday and the stress of everything else and trying to get better, I think it really added to him. And with him being home now, he's doing okay. But Sean, I appreciate you and Stewie looking over him and keeping a watchful eye. I love you boys, and I can't repay you guys enough. You know, love the locals. Yeah, Miller. Hey, dude, you gotta love your locals, dude. I don't know if you were tuning in earlier. I had a kid, Joel Ruiz from your local track, up at Redwood this past weekend. Okay, and Redwood is 6 hours after me here in Manteca. Okay, so like they put in a drive there, bro. So big shout to Joel. I told him to say hi to Mike. I'm like, hey, you're from Yokaipa? I'm like, you know Mike Miller? And he looked at me kind of like weird. The parents are like, are you some kind of creeper? I'm like, dude, Mike Miller's my homeboy. Showed him a picture of you and me from Dirty Fest, and he's like, wow, that was cool. That was amazing. So yeah, so Joel Ruiz there, Mike Miller. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it, man. Four, including Boulder City. Yeah, you guys got a handful, Lee. You got to get in the mix. I know we got six here in California in for this track versus track challenge. We have Airtime, Reedley, Oak Creek, Manzanita, Metro down in Bakersfield, Napa, and Lemoore. Okay, so this was the middle of last week before Justin stopped the clock. So I don't know if we still got the six in the top 32 or not, but that's how it was in the middle of the week before they closed the brackets. We had Airtime first, Oak Creek was third, Manzanita 13th, Metro was 21st, Napa was 22nd, right on Metro's tail, and Lemoore was 27th. So that's a big one. What's up there, Bill Sharp? How you doing there, bro? What's up, Maddie? Saber. Good to see you this weekend there, Maddie. A couple of things too coming off of Worlds. Oh yeah, Airtime's in the mix, Burgess. Well, you know what? Hey, dude, they got the state finals for a reason. They ain't messing around. They ain't playing. It ain't house money. They know what's up. Uh, this was a thing that came kind of middle of the week, sort of, with the Worlds and everything going on, and it actually ended up being a pretty legit question with a handful of people that chimed in on this one, and Stewie and Dozer, you can chime in on this one because you guys are there uh, over there in Australia. Is it more of a blessing or a curse to hold the world's race, the world's event? Okay. Now, night shift in Frisco? Well, hey, just make sure your cell phone's charged there, Maddie. You'll be all right. There was so much good stuff that happened at Worlds. Elite was a balls up for sure, but we can still share the positives. Oh no, there's plenty of positives, Stu. It was fantastic. I love watching it. It was awesome. What's up, Billy? Someone get this man a phone book to sit on. Hey, I'm sitting on Billy. I'm sitting on a pillow right now. Um, so this one came out was because of get rid of UCI. Man, if there was a way, I'm sure they would try to find it. And people say the same thing about USA BMX too, Bill. So it's like it kind of goes hand in hand with the whole thing. Um, with it being a blessing or a curse, hosting the Worlds, because the host track or country, right, gets X amount of riders. Okay. And I noticed it, didn't really think nothing of it. I just kind of like rolled with it. Like that's how it is. There was a lot of motos throughout the week that were all Australian riders. I'm talking like 6, 8, like full racks, all Australian. And they're like, doesn't it make it hard to go and like, who do you cheer for when you have a full gate of your own countrymen and women, right? How do you go about like cheering for it? Because you know there's going to be like a top 4 transfer, but which top 4? You know, everybody's kind of friends and buddies. I mean, yeah, racing's racing. You know, the gloves are off, but still, doesn't it make it hard? And it's like sitting there thinking, you know, I'm thinking back to Rock Hill, and I'm like, I can't remember. And same thing with Denmark last year. I can't remember there being full gates of USA riders. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It just seemed like there was a lot of motos that had the whole rack all Australia. You know, you get some where it's like 7 Australia, 1 New Zealand. I think some were all Australian, and I think Mexico. You know, I'm saying like so like man, you know what? I mean that's a good question. Like, is it good or bad to be the host of having the world? You know, because the host gets a handful of extra spots, from what I'm told. You know, I don't know the whole deal on it, but I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, dude, that's got to be freaking kind of tough. Like you're taking 4, but you're still knocking out 4 of your own people. You know, is it easier to kind of go and maybe not host it or get that many extra entries? You know, I don't know. It was a pretty good question. It made for good conversation. You know, I was intrigued by it. You know, which was like, you know, if I'm getting intrigued, then it's good. You know, because I love it. There are at least a few Australians in every moto. Yeah, no, there's Australians in every moto, but I'm talking Lee. Like I'm talking like these. There was full motos where it was all Australia. Which, hey, dude, I get it. You know that's how the rules go. Hey, I'm fine with it. But then, you know, you're sitting there like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, damn, if I'm Australia, right? And I know all 8, right? If I know all 8, it's like, damn, who am I cheering for? Like, damn, that's kind of tough. You know, don't have the worlds in a country that it's not summertime too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's a good thing too, Bill. Yeah, it is winter over there in Australia. They kind of knew it. You know, I mean they did have rain and everything, but they didn't stop it for rain. They stopped it for wind. You know, and I don't know. Like, there's been a whole whirlwind. I mean, aside from our podcast and All Things BMX podcast, I mean, if you go and listen to Coffee Chatter with what James and Tori talked about with the wind and having like an extra day and having a backup plan, you know, you go and listen to Dale Holmes and Jay Rich on their podcast with what they talk about. You know, Dale Holmes and Jay Rich, they don't mess around. Uh, like, there's a whole lot of different perspectives, questions, and everything else about it. Like it's wild, you know. And then, like I said, you know, we got Stewie and Sean. You know, Dozer called in last week, gave us the rundown on the show, and it was just like I'm talking like inside information. Like, dude, it is freaking wild. You know, it was crazy. It was great. It was appreciated and everything, but it's just like stuff that will just blow your mind. You know, I thought host nation always had the most riders. Yes, they do, Andre. You know, and that is a big. I mean, and that's a given. Like everybody knows that, you know, and that's the one thing. Like a lot of people were talking about, they didn't remember, you know, as well as myself, when we were in Rock Hill, uh, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, uh, having full racks of just like USA riders. You know what I mean? You know, where it was pretty noticeable over there in Australia. And I mean, and hats off to them. You know, I follow the Australian national stuff of what they got, the Oceanas, the Oceania nationals that they have going on over there. I follow all that stuff. Like their live feed and their national series over there in Australia is freaking gangster as shit. I watch it all the time because hey, I'm a BMXer. I love watching the stuff. You know, it's cool. You know, it was perfect weather all week apart from the Sunday. Exactly, Stu. You know, that's where it's like a lot of people said there should have been a plan B. But, you know, UCI isn't a plan B party. You know, they don't look at it that way. You know, it's just like, all right, well, you know what? We can't go and we can't delay it anymore. You know, we don't want to get here any earlier. You know, we got to go eat dinner, but then it cuts into our breakfast if we start earlier the next day. You know, I mean, that's what a lot of people are thinking. It's like, well, they don't want to go miss dinner. They don't want to miss breakfast. So they're not going to go and freaking change the next day's schedule to try and accommodate and let these guys race out. You know, that's the thing. The host country gets 32 per class to go. Everyone else gets 16 per. Yes, Chang Star. Yes, you're exactly right, Jason. Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, which hey, that's cool. Hey, that's fine. Then hey, the rules are the rules. You know, but there was a lot of people that they noticed it a little bit differently. You know, compared to like Rock Hill. You know, where it was just like, you know what, they no one could, as well as myself, couldn't remember having like racks of just USA, right? But hey, dude, you got to give it to the Aussies. Like, dude, BMX is huge over there. Like, they don't put up with no bullshit over there in Australia. Okay, like it's different. They're qualifying and their clubs, like it's a whole different freaking ball of wax over there. You know, I mean, same thing in England and France. Like it's a different thing. You know, they look at it, they take it differently. You know, it's like soccer in South America. You know what I mean? In my single days, I never legit be home without a plan B, and I mean plan B. That's a problem solver. All things being mixed, that's a good one, Justin. Hell yeah, dude. uh, but that's funnier than shit. You know, the thing is, like everybody goes and talks about like watching the Australia Nationals with what they have, their live feed, the way they do the motos, the split screens, the announcing. Like they are just so to a T compared to what we got over here going on. You know, we're in the mix of YouTube and Flow. They are just doing their own thing and they're freaking killing it. You know, that is a big thing. What's up there, Jeff Rowe? How you doing there, Mr. Willis? How you doing, bud? We're doing great, doing fantastic. They are beholden to their TV and media contracts for streaming. Seems understandable, I guess, but 24 Pro motos over 2 days. There's no reason there shouldn't have been a buffer day in the event, whether built into their entertainment contract agreement. Yeah, you would think so, Melanie, for sure. You know, I mean, especially after what happened at Rock Hill. You would think there would be like, we need like a safety day. But that's neither here nor there. You know, there's nothing we can do about it. Unfortunately, I mean, we're just the fans. You know, and that's kind of like the shitty part. You know, was Worlds awesome? Yeah, Worlds was awesome. There was a couple posts of over on No Holds Barred BMX. You know, brought to you by Henry Soria. Big shout out to Henry Soria. Gotta love Henry. Henry's a great dude. Jimmy Greer, what's up there, Jimmy? Hell, big shout out to Boo the Beast, baby. Come on, Boo. Boo freaking coming up clean there, Jimmy. So stoked for Boo. Where they're like, oh, you know, USA riders, they gotta brush up, they gotta do this. I want to say like the USA riders like looked really good and legit and were really competitive throughout the whole week of racing. Like I'm talking well prepared, putting down freaking solid laps. Hey, sure, some of them wrecked, but you're putting everything out on the line. Like it's going. What's up, Big Bill? Big Rick Davis, doing great, Bill. Hey, big shout to Ian. So proud of Ian. Ian looking freaking solid in the 1724, bro. Yeah. But I think, dude, USA was well prepared. I mean, we finished second in the overall medals. You can't sneeze at that. And honestly, I think we had less riders go to Australia than we had in Denmark last year. I think I'm not positive on it, but I mean, if that really is the case, like I was stoked on how Team USA did. I was really proud. Really, like, shoot, you know, we had a lot of riders too. Like, take some big wrecks. Max Vicario, rides for Sharks. Max, he didn't even finish his first lap in Cruiser. He got carted off in the stretcher, and he's, from what I hear, still in Australia, like in the hospital. Like, this is what this you're putting it all out on the line. Like, it's a whole different freaking ball game. You're going for broke. Big Phil, 10% of the riders that went stepped on the podium. What more are you asking for? Exactly, Phil. Yeah, no, I think people are looking for they don't have the numbers right on how many USA riders actually went uh, overseas to go and compete. I think a lot of people are missing the point. A lot of them are being keyboard warriors, which, I mean, hey, I've been accused of being a keyboard warrior of having the podcast too, but no, I the Stars and Stripes, we did fine. You know, he's right there. Hell yeah! What's up, Ian? They definitely represented us well. Yes, they did, Robert. They sure did. And really stoked on it. And looking forward to next year. We got solid riders over here in the States. You can't sneeze at sure, some of our tracks and all that stuff might not be all that great, but you know what? Our riders find a way to train and make it happen and show up and be a threat and be in the mix. If you're in the mix, you're doing a hell of a job. And you're not gonna hear shit from me. I mean, sure, there was a handful of riders that, I did see that were like, they went out there, they weren't getting out of the gate, they weren't going, they weren't pedaling and putting forth a first straight effort, you know. But you're gonna get that, where you get the ones that's like, oh well, it's a BMX vacation. We just decided we're gonna go to Australia. We ain't never been there. Okay, fine and dandy. I mean, am I a fan of that part? Not really. We're here to compete. We're here to compete, even here locally. For with what we have for our team sheet series. With our states. Hey, I'm here to compete. Get my ass kicked. Get my ass kicked. Cool. Take it with a smile. Give everybody knuckles. Hey, it's cool. I'll see you in the next one. That's what it's all about. What's up, Ridge? Big Harold. Very proud of how Team USA did. They did more than just show up. Yes, they did, Harold. This is ours. Yo, Dennis. What's up, Dennis? Hey, Harold. I had a couple of your riders over there at Redwood this last weekend, dude. I told everybody, I'm like, hey, make sure you see Harold. Tell him I said what's up. That was cool seeing a handful of your riders over there for the Ridge brothers. At Redwood. That was cool. Good to see him. Danny Pena. I was impressed with Barry Nobles being 40 and was so sick for a week out there. Still got World 4. Dude, Danny, he was sick for like. Dude, Barry was sick for like ever. It seemed like he was sick for like 2 weeks. Like I don't like. I don't even think like Barry got completely like healed. But Barry's doing Barry things, man. But yeah, Barry was in a bad place. Like he was horrible, bro. It was almost like he got the vid over there, which was wild. You never would have thought it. I mean, it's Barry Noble's, like the dude's indestructible. It's Noble's 95er, bro. This guy never gets sick. I'm racing for the vibes and my son. Redwood was amazing. One of our favorite tracks now. Hell yeah, Andre. And that's how it goes. It's all fine and dandy, dude. It's a good time. I don't know about the announcer up there at Redwood, but the racing was great. How about the big hack race and pump track race we have coming this weekend at Oak Creek? You know what, Willis? That's actually in the notes, bro, and I'll be talking about that here shortly there, brother. But yes, sir. Thank you for chiming in on that one there, Jeffro. Appreciate that one. So we got the world's team. We took second place overall. So big shout out to all the Team USA riders on that one. We love you guys. We support you guys. You guys put up a hell of a fight. And for those, like, I don't know if there's anybody else that is really, really like injured and still over there that couldn't make it back home. I just want to give a personal shout out to Max Vicario. that I think is still over there and has some severe injuries. I just want to say, hey, dude, my prayers are with you, Maddox. Love you, love you, love your mom and dad. Out of Hesperia, BMX down there in SoCal. You know what? Hope you get healed up and you can get home soon, Maddox. Oh, Oz, dude, Oz! It's so fun being up there at Redwood, man. You have no idea. It is a BMX vacation. It is so fun. I get tickled. The best part was is that freaking Roy Ball showed up. We got to share the microphone and give you guys a freaking a solid weekend up there. That was the best part. Definitely for sure. Let's see. We got getting into X Games. X Games was another big one. X Games happened out in New Orleans over there in the what is it? Is it the Mercedes Benz Center now, or I forget what they call the enclosed the where the Saints play. Well, that's where X Games happened, and it was the final stop of X Games with all the different X Games teams. I'm talking they had dirt competition, they had park, they got street, they had skateboard, they had scooter, dirt bike. I'm talking like X Games is getting to be like so freaking next level, and especially with like all these different teams. Like you got Team New York, Team LA, Sao Paulo, uh, Team Japan, Team Tokyo. X Games is really getting off the freaking chain. Their chain star, Jason. We did well, but I wonder how many top Americans did not go. You know what? Good question there, Jason. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm sure there was a handful of top Americans that didn't go. You know, there's usually always a handful. You know, I mean, because I mean, hell, it's expensive as shit. I mean, on top of chasing nationals too, and you throw in worlds, like talk about like you got to sell foot picks, a kidney, donate plasma to get to some of this shit. Like it ain't getting any cheaper, Jason. Honestly, So I mean, and that's one of the big things, I mean, and for the top riders that can't make it, you can't go and sneeze at it. I'm not. I don't have a lot of. I don't have any fu money. I got to work my ass off. I work two jobs and coach kids to make extra money to go and let my kids go and have fun and do all the cool shit. You know, another 20K. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what, Phil? You're right. God bless. I don't have my two daughters still racing like we did back in the day because there was four of us racing 10 years ago, and holy Jesus, almost had to rob a bank a handful of times on the way to nationals just to put gas in the motorhome. Shit. I mean, appreciate that, Oz. No, appreciate that a lot, dude. Love hanging out with you guys. You guys kill it up there. I love all you guys' staff. You know, and with Phil saying like it's another 20K, you know, how much longer can this go? Right? Honestly, like you like think about it with the way the economy, the like jobs for parents, you know, the racing, chasing the nationals, going to worlds. Like, how much longer can this actually go? Does it die off? I mean, we've already seen like the national numbers die off. Had a blast there. Great to see you and race you, buddy. The whole class is a good group of guys. I haven't been to Redwood Empire since '98 at the fairgrounds. Oh, Party Marty, bro. I love seeing you and Uncle Ronnie's face, man. It is a great time. Marty, hell yeah. No, I get you. Replying to Andre, replying to Big Phil. God damn. Yeah. Hey, Andre, I told you about them mountain bikes, dude. Mountain bikes are a little bit cheaper than the BMX right now, depending on where you go and who you know. I'm just saying. The unsolved midget bandit. Hell yeah, Cord, you know how that is. But that's real talk. And I talked to a handful of parents this weekend up at Redwood, talking about worlds and talking about like chasing the nationals. Like, they got their kids. Like, they just started doing a handful of nationals. They're starting to get their feet wet. And then they're like, well, what about worlds? Like, how much does it cost? It's like, well, it was $650 per bike to go. And you see their eyes just like come out like Roger Rabbit, like come out of their head. And they're like, what? $650 per bike? I go, yeah, times two. Because Ricky does class and cruiser, you know, and we ain't the only one. There's other parents out there where their kids are, or they got two kids doing class and cruiser. You know, you had the Thiessen boys for Team USA doing two bikes. You know, and a handful of others. You know, they just look at you like you nuts. They're like, huh? Yep, 650 right off the crack. Like, boom. They're just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, it's cool. Hey, Grands is coming up November, on top of a handful of nationals in between. Yeah. What does USA Cycling do to help the riders? They should pay to send each nag one rider. You know what, Chang? You know what, Jason? That's a solid question, and I don't know. I mean, that would make sense. It would make sense on USA Cycling to pick, say, the top 10, top 5 in NAG to help out with a chance to go and represent at Worlds. You know, I mean, I would think USA Cycling has enough money for that. You know, I don't know, but that is a good question, Jason. I really like that. That is really really good. You know, and I think that's one of the unsolved questions. They're brought to you by Cord Beerman. You know, the I mean, I would think that would be almost like an automatic. You dip into like your top 5 nag riders. If you're USA Cycling and you're working with USA BMX, or you're not working with USA BMX, because that's the other question too. Because hey, we hella funny, Phil. You know how we roll, bro. Shit, and it's a Monday. It ain't even a weekend. Uh, you know, because you get UCI, USA Cycling, and USA BMX. They say there's no like effort or like the buddy system between the two of them. It's like they're totally separate. But you would think you would think USA Cycling would be like, okay, USA BMX, who's your top 5 in these classes? We got Worlds coming up. Let's make it happen. Let's go and shoulder tap these riders and see who wants to go to Worlds. Okay, get a handful. Okay, some of the top 5, not all of them go. Okay, who's the other 5 to round out the top 10? You know, that way we got like a solid representation or whatever. You know, because it always seems like the ones with the fu money, from what people in conversations that I've had, is like it's the ones with the fu money that aren't really competitive, but they go and take a seat at the high table going into like Worlds, right? It's like, oh, they just go and flaunt their freaking credit cards and their checkbooks. And it's just like, oh, no, we're good. We're going to Worlds. But are you competitive, and are you really racing? Or are you there just to be like, hey, social media, click, we're here, hashtag, we done. You know, I don't know. Weird thing. Weird thing. You know, and that's how it is over here at the beer budget. And like I get so many different conversations, like it's ridiculous. You know, I could drink a pot of coffee and still not be done with conversations and topics and messages. You know, the day after doing a show. Honestly, it's fun as shit, but it's intriguing at the same time. You know, yeah, but would that be the 5 guys and 5 girls, or 5 each, or 5 total? I don't know. I mean, it would come. I don't know, Jeff. You know, it would just come down on how many like seats or sections you have to fill. You know, then it's like, okay, you got X amount of freaking spots open for Team USA. Okay, let's try and fill those spots. You go down the list, and it's like, okay, let's go and tab these riders. Okay, say you get half. Okay, well, we got half. Let's go and tab the next half and see what we got. And like the trickle down effect, like just keep going down the list of it. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. You know, that's out of my pay grade. I have no idea, Jeff. Shit, if I had FU money, I would be flicking it up too. Well, hey, FU money is freaking great to have, Andre. I mean, I'm telling you, I wish I had FU money. I'd be racing more locals, and hell, I wouldn't even have to work where I'm working right now. I mean, heck, my weekends are freaking buttoned up unless I use sick time like I did this week. I used sick time to go announce and go hang out with everybody, which it was totally worth it. You know, but I don't know. A lot of people know that a lot of the countries they go and they pick their riders. If you're not approved, you can't go to places like Worlds or like a lot of the big races overseas. You have to be approved and given the okay to go. You know, and a lot of people have said the same thing over here in the USA, where it's just like, you know what, USA BMX, USA Cycling needs to step in and be like, we need to get riders that are approved to go and represent. We don't need Joe Blow just showing up where it's just like, okay, you're going to go, but you're going to take a seat out of somebody that's freaking really good, but doesn't have the funds. But because you're slow and filthy rich, you're going to go just to go have a good time so you can go have a vacation. I don't know. It's weird. It's crazy. It's a big toss up. So I don't know. Worlds definitely took a big twist this year. Kind of like it did at Rock Hill, but not so much because I think if the challenge classes would have got canceled again, like they did 2 years ago in Rock Hill, then I really think like shit would have been hellfire and brimstone on that one. Chandler, what's going on, Chandler? Worlds is the best riders with the money to go. Exactly. What's up, Ashley? How you doing, Ashley? What's going on, girl? Digging it. You slaying it, girl. Hell yeah, mama. I saw a few Americans that looked like they just went for the experience, not so much to be a contender for the win. Exactly, Chang. I agree with you, Jason. I seen that too. Like I was talking about earlier. There was a handful wearing the USA jersey. Oh, we're hella proud representing Team USA. Gate drops, and like they ain't even pedaling down the hill. And it's like, man, dude, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, seeing that shit hurts. Where it's just like you're taking a spot from somebody right there, but you see it too on a local side. There's how many local kids across the U.S. that you see like in state races that absolutely kill it, but they can't afford to go to like they're a national rider, but they can't afford to go and hit nationals. But deep down, like, dude, this kid could be something great. It all comes down to the pocketbook. Unfortunately, like that's the shitty part. I mean, it's been that way for years. I mean, I've been seeing it. I mean, hell, I was there with my kids until it was like, okay, well, I gotta go bust my ass and go make some more money so we can afford and go hit some more races because this is what my kids want to do. All right, I go work my ass to the bone and make it happen. But that's the box that you're put in. If you want to get into the upper echelon of BMX, because it's like I thought that too, Jason. Some looked like novices. Yes, they did, Lee. I agree with you, Lee, on that one. They look hell. I've seen novices better than that. I mean, at least can we get somebody that sandbags all season to go over there to Worlds and be like, okay, go unleash that shit you've been sandbagging for half the year and go kick some ass. You know what I mean? Like that's the big thing. Make it happen. Put it all out on the line. Like, hey, you've been sandbagging all year. Welcome to Team USA. Go rip some shit. you know, the best experience for us was getting to race your fast kids and then going out for dinner with families from New Mexico and the kids swap jerseys. Exactly, Stu. That is a good part. The best part is like you go out there, you go to war and everything, you go battle, but then at the end of the day, you're still friends. You go, hey, you live to ride another day. That is huge. Andre, no, technically you don't have to be expert. Technically, you don't have to be expert to go to Worlds. All you do is, that's our broken qualifying system that we have. If you finish in the top four with whatever, whether it be novice, intermediate, this, that, or the other, however it goes on a world qualifier, throughout the states, if you make it in, you're okay to go. Doesn't mean you have the skill, doesn't mean you have the speed. Oh, you qualified? You're good to go. Okay, we'll take your money. Thank you. Here's your jersey. Go have fun. We'll see you. We'll love to make it out there, but just can justify the price. Houston is in 2 years, and we will definitely make the 7-hour drive. No, hey, I get you, Phil. Next year is going to be in France. How much is France going to be next year? Take maybe Team USA. Hey, take the year off. Worry about training. Get in the mix. Focus on Houston. Let's get some redemption from Rock Hill. Where our challenge classes got hosed at Rock Hill. Let's show up to Houston. I've been to Houston. Houston is great. Great facility. I know the pros don't like it, but you know what? Get your sights set. 2 years. It's going to be in Houston. It's going to be here in the States. In Texas. Let's get some redemption. Let's start the training. Let's get the focus. Let's get in there and be like, you know what? We're going to show up and show out and make up for what happened at Rock Hill. God willing, it's scheduled and it's not winter here or whatever, or we got lightning or something. They schedule it at a decent time of the season. You know what I mean? Because God only knows with UCI. That's the shitty part. What's up, cousin Jerry? How you doing, brother? Miss you, man. But I don't know. The thing is, like, right now you're battling checkbooks. It's people with the money are the ones that are going to get in and get all the freaking glory. You got most of the fast kids and families, like, you got to go and crunch dollars and eat top ramen and cup of noodle, to go and save pennies to go and make it happen, to chase a national. You got grands, you got worlds, you got the whole thing, everything in the mix. Is just like, it's a constant freaking just money pit. People think like soccer and softball, or baseball, travel football, like, it's expensive. BMX ain't no different. What's up, Mark? Great seeing you, Mark. Love you, brother. Great seeing you. It'll be more than likely in May because it's an Olympic year. Houston all have the tumblebee warnings. Yeah, no, exactly. No, so May is not that bad over there in Houston. Houston's in the cuts, but I tell you what, the facility is freaking awesome. I've been there. I love it. I don't know how, I haven't been there in 2 years, but Houston's freaking fantastic. I love the 5-meter hill. The 5-meter hill is freaking gangster as shit. Do we need to start maybe getting some of our kids at some of these bigger hills, like Houston, what wasn't Durango, Florida? I know we don't really have any big hills over here in California. We do have Lemoore, which is a 3-meter, that makes a big difference. And Lemoore was actually a big training facility out here for a lot of our West Coast riders that went out to Worlds and did really good. So I mean, you're talking 3 meter, 5 meter, 2 meter difference, and they still showed up and was in the mix and was able to put on a fight. Like, it's doable. Okay, it can be done. No matter what everybody says, and no holds barred, where it's just like, oh, we need track operators. Like, I mean, sure, there's tracks out there that need to be updated, and they need to be a little bit more tech to go in and push some of the skill sets of our kids. I know our track has been the same since 2017. Yes, it needs to be changed to go and challenge the skill set on a lot of our young riders that have been riding it for the past 3-4 years, to be able to get to that next level. You have to do it. There's tracks out there, they change their tracks every damn year. And you know what? Good on them. Black Mountain's one of them. Black Mountain is always changing shit out there. Good on them. You got to change it up. You can't be comfortable all the goddamn time. When my boy was very young rider, we had it in our heads that one day we would get fully sponsored. The older he got, we came to realize that nobody gets that. We didn't get hookups with riding kits, helmets, goggles, gloves, and discounts, but always had to pay for travel and entry fees. Rich kids get to go everywhere. That's a good one, Jerry. And that's a big fact, especially out here in California. I don't know how it is over there outside of California, but that is a great point, Jerry. That is a big, big point. Because I've seen it too. Been there, done that. Same boat. I understand it. Travel is one thing, along with maintaining at least a $1,000 bike to compete. Exactly, Lee. It's a whole different freaking ball game. And then you're talking about all the bikes, the $1,000 bike to go and compete and maintain. And then, like, Australia ended up being kind of like a inner bike over there in the expo center, which is great. I've seen a lot of videos with a lot of like late breaking like news and updates and new products from a lot of new brand, or well, not new brands, but existing brands with new product. Stay Strong with the new frame, Prophecy with the aluminum titanium, and then Common Sol, like, they dropped it. It's like, oh, you can get this freaking bike for $7,000. And it was like, holy Jesus Christ! Like, this thing better ride its goddamn self. Everybody thought it was crazy at Grands last year with Marshall, with what, a complete, I think, was $5,700. I think $5,700 at Grands for a rolling Marshall, and I was like, holy Jesus Christ! I seen some of the stuff on Instagram, like, they're going through. Hey, dude, Stewie and Sean, they were going from like booth to booth, having great interviews with everybody, and I'm starting to see some of this stuff. I'm like, damn, dude, that's a crack, bro. Like, that shit, ain't no way I'm freaking gonna get on that action. I'll stay with what I got. You're dipping into mountain bike money. The squishy bikes. Like, it's like, oh, dude, $8,000 get you this with freaking Fox 38s and a floater DX freaking rear shock. You got 170 mil travel front to rear. And it's like, all right, cool. This is a goddamn BMX bike. Holy shit! Like, dude, are you kidding me right now? Like, I told you about them mountain bikes there, Andre. I ain't lying, dog. Yeah, it better ride itself, and it better come with its own DoorDash, dude. I better get like some Chipotle or In-N-Out freaking gift cards with that son of a bitch. I'm like, damn. I mean, it looks good. It's sexy as shit. Ain't no way in hell I'm freaking buying anything like that. Or even if my kid wanted to buy it and it was his own money, I'd thump him in the head and be like, dude, there is no way in hell that you're going to go and drop your own money on this shit. This is ridiculous. It was a lot of me working tons of side jobs every weekend that we weren't racing to send Isaiah with other families or driving all night. I missed the crap out of it. Dude, it's a thing. What's up, Nathan? What's up, Soito? Hey, Jerry, same boat, bro. I'm right there with you, man. Did the same thing for years, and I'm still doing it. 48 years old. Kids just turned 21. You know, love the hell out of it. Like, that's the thing. You know, when you love the hell out of it, it's just like you're just gonna go out there and do it. Even though like I can't go do nationals because I use that money that I would use for nationals to give to my son and daughters to go and do their shit. You know, gave them money so they can go to Australia, go compete, go have fun, go do it, go kill it. You know, nobody pays full retail anyway. Well, I mean, not everybody's like you, Chang Star. I mean, dude, you got the bro code, dude. You got the hookup, son. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just kidding, Jason. I love you, but I get what you're saying. You know, but still, you get like checkbook freaking bikes. Like a lot of these, there you see it locally. Where you got kids and families out there on checkbook freaking bikes, and they are not even nowhere near where they need to be for like on like a novice level. I mean, I've seen novices on full blown carbon orcas from Bombshell. Hey, don't get me wrong. Hey, they're tight as shit, but the kids have no friggin' riding like coordination at all, like at all. You know, they refuse to go and come out and train or coach or get a little like help. You know, they try it for a couple months. Next thing you know, that full blown freaking checkbook bike is up for sale on Marketplace. And like that's the shitty part. Is like, okay, you were so hard headed because you thought you knew what you were doing instead of looking at some of the locals at your local BMX track, trying to give you some insight, trying to help you and let you stay in the sport because your kid looks pretty intrigued and invested and loves riding their bike, but you're refusing help. And you would rather just be like, okay, we're going to quit and it's up for sale. Like, those are the parents that drive me fucking crazy. Like, can't stand the shit out of it. It's ridiculous. It's wild. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure like with everybody tuning in, I'm sure you guys have seen it at your locals too. You see the one family that shows up where it's just like, oh damn, dude, damn, shit, that bike's better than mine. God damn, like that thing is freaking dope. And it's just like they can't ride. You try to give them some pointers, and they're like, nope. It's like they all went to YouTube University. It's just like, okay, have fun with that one. I try to help you. You know, Yeah, but the hard part is there's no brick and mortar shops sticking around for the people to go to look at what's available and talk to knowledgeable staff that can make recommendations. That makes it even harder. That's across all cycling too nowadays. Oh, hey, good point, Melanie. We don't have the brick and mortar bike shops. Sure, there's a handful of them over across the states, but not like how it used to be. Back in the day, when I was doing it, all the local bike shops had their own teams at the local BMX tracks. That was a big thing. Paul DePow, Danger Deacon Reeves, 8 boys, dude. Oh man, Reeves was looking good, Paul. Woo, representing East Moline, son. Hell yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, working that indoor. This is coming from the indoor East Moline, and Reeves goes out there and freaking puts one on there. You can go race indoor at East Moline, and you can go end up freaking a World 1 at Worlds. Hell yes. Anything's possible, dude. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a different. It's a whole different. You know, I, when I was BMXing, dude, all our freaking bike shops there in town, which we had like 4 of them. We had a Schwinn team, F&M Cyclery team. It was just like it kept on going. Bike Garage had a team. And they all showed up and showed out over at Sonol BMX over there here in California. It's a big thing. And I'm sure that's how it went across the states too as well. But bike shops are dying off. You go into bike shops now, a lot of them don't even have anything in stock, period. most of them are just doing like repairs. I mean, sure, you can go find a bike and they'll order it for you, but there's really nothing there for them to go and get sized up on. You roll the dice at looking at a sizing chart, online, from good folks like Dan's Comp. Hey, they'll get you dialed up as best they could, but it's an online buy, and there's only, depending, you got a long torso, short torso, your inseam, your cranks might be off, but I mean, they're going to do their best to get you dialed in with something that fits, you know, which good on them. They're trying their best. When you don't have anything in your area or anything close, what else can you do? Same thing kind of with mountain bike too. The same thing. Most mountain bikes, like right now, I mean, at least out here, a lot of the bike stores, they're out. They just got e-bikes. If you want a regular Amish bike to go pedal, full suspension or whatever, you kind of got to like guess and be like, okay, cool, and order it, and then hopefully it fits when it shows up to your door. You know what I mean? So that's the shitty part. Most bike shops I've seen these days are like a Guitar Center, and that's not a good thing. Nope, you got it, Lee. Exactly. They are like Guitar Center. They'll go and sell you like, oh, here you go. They'll give you like a park/dirt jumper and be like, oh, you're good to go. And then they go to the BMX track, and the parents don't understand why it doesn't work or why their child is struggling, because it's a whole different thing. But they didn't tell them that at the bike store. They just were like, hey, dude, we're all about the sale. Hey, we sold it. There you go. Now they're stuck with it. And it's just like, they're sitting there scratching their head. Oh, we just paid $450 for this bike and it don't fit or it doesn't work here at the BMX track. Well, because that's a dirt jumper/park bike. And that's the shit that sucks. And hopefully it's a good understanding parent where it's just like, you know what? Hey, let's try and sell this bike and find you something that fits. You get in there like with your social media and you start leaning on people. Hey, do you got a frame here like around this? Hey, who's got some wheels? Okay, well, you know what? You could probably resell this bike for $350. You're going to lose $100, but I found a bike that'll fit your kid a little bit better, and he'll enjoy the racing part of it a lot more because he or she is going to be a little bit more competitive. So I don't know. It's a bad place that we're in right now. That's all I'm saying. And it sucks. It sucks. And like Melanie says, you need experienced people that know how to fit a bike. A lot of these people in these bike shops, they have no idea. You go to take a bike in to, oh, I need to get my shocks serviced, or I need this, I need that, and then it's like, okay, well, you know what, we'll get back to it in a week. Or it's like, wait, what about your service department? Like, you guys say you got service, you got tuning, this out there. Well, the real tech, he's not going to be here till like 3 days later. So a lot of these bike shops have traveling techs that show up different days of the week doing service on a lot of these bikes that you're taking to the bike shops that you're not really getting what you're like looking for or what they offer. It's like, wait, I'm dropping it off now and it's going to be a week. Like, I just need like a wheel trude, or I need like, hey, can you service my shock or this, that, or the other, which, okay, it should be 3 days. Oh, well, the tech doesn't get here till this. Wait, you don't have an in-house tech? What the hell? Like, that's ridiculous. So, I don't know. But that's how it goes. Back to X Games. X Games was a killer. I don't know if anybody watched it. X Games was fantastic. It was freaking huge. It was the last stop on the X Games series over there in New Orleans. I was talking about it earlier. Justin Dow, he won in park. Brady freaking Baker, sponsored by Dan's Comp, killed it in dirt. Brady Baker was this dude. Brady Baker in dirt. I don't know how to say it. Brady Baker and Dirt is like really something amazing. This dude is freaking just, he has been killing it lately this year, and I am so freaking happy for him. The dude is just on a clip right now on the X Games scene. You know, looking really good. He was doing really good in the Toyota Triple Challenge 2 on the Monster Energy weekends with Supercross. The dude's just been on a tear lately. What's up, Dan Eccles? How you doing, Dan? You got your overalls on there, bro. Miss having you and Donnell on live tonight. You know, hey, but it worked out good because I was able to fill the spot. So appreciate you guys so much, Dano. Looking forward to being live with you guys on Saturday night. You know, the big thing with X Games was with they had all the different teams going on. Our local boy Bryce Tryon lives in SoCal. He's from Lodi, 20 minutes away. He got drafted by Team Tokyo, and that was really cool because Rim Nakamura couldn't make the trip. So Bryce got tabbed in as a free agent to go ride for Team Tokyo. And he was out there for best trick and dirt and put together some freaking fantastic runs. So stoked on freaking Bryce. Love the kid. Been on a handful of road trips with him. Big friends with his parents. Big shout out to Bryce. That was huge. Ended up getting, let's see, Team New York with Kevin Peraza. They ended up getting the overall win at X Games. The whole team thing in X Games really freaking changed the whole thing. Like, you can go and draft riders or, well, riders? Yeah, riders. Between BMX, skateboard, scooter, and MX. So you were able to go, if you had the money and you were representing, it would be like me, be like, oh, Team Manteca. If I had a bunch of FU money, you can go and freaking draft like your own roster. You had Team New York, Team LA, SoPal, Tokyo, mm, there was a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. But it was freaking, it was great. It was freaking, it really ramped up watching the team points as well as the regular like individual rider scores. You know, with X Games, it was really something cool to follow. It was hard to follow at first, but then you start to get a feel for it, and it worked out really good. And it ended up being a big thing. You know, sponsored by MoonPay. You know, big shout out to MoonPay and X Games for putting it on. I can only imagine what next year is going to do. They had 4 stops this year. You know, so I mean, you never know. X Games could be showing up because they went to Sacramento and they went to New Orleans. So you never know, dude. Hey, check your local listings next year. X Games could be showing up to you guys. Let's see, back in on the news. Let's see, we got big shout out to Nate Kitchen, one of our former BMXers that used to ride for Greg Hill. He's out of Bakersfield. He's leading the pro downhill series. He took a third down at Big Bear. He won the last 2 weekends. He's sitting in first. Big shout out to Joel Vaughter out of the 559. Joel Vaughter riding for Body D. He was down at Big Bear, put together a great weekend down there, as well as our Ignite mountain bike team out of Oakdale, Ascaroons and Big Ears, Big Old John. They went out there and let's see who else went out there. Oh, Lucas. Lucas went out there too for the Ignite team down at Big Bear and did an exceptional job. So big shout to our local mountain bikers on a great job. Then we got Oak Creek coming up this weekend. Oak Creek had August 1st, Side Hacks and Pump Lap Challenge with 3 different age brackets sponsored by Tangent. So TJ, I know you were in the chat earlier. I don't know if you're still here, but Oak Creek is going to be a busy one on August 1st this weekend with Side Hacks brought to you by Mike Melvin over at the Hack Shack, part of his Side Hack series. That should be a doozy. Jim Bean, I know Jim, you're a part of that action. I wish I was, but I got to work, unfortunately. But that is going to be, what is that, Jim? That's stop number 4? Because you just had stop number 3 at Reedley. So I seen your post yesterday over there. You had another hat getting all done up there, Jim. That looked really good. I was on my way back from way up north, so I seen that, and then oh, Mike's doing rentals. So there's, according to Jim, there's going to be rentals available at Oak Creek this coming weekend. So it's going to be a big one. I don't know if anybody's seen Daniel Zuniga's post from yesterday, Saturday night. It was either Saturday night or yesterday morning, early. But Daniel Zuniga made a big post of what's going on with Oak Creek this Saturday with the side acts, pump lap. They're going to be starting early too, so signups are going to be early. That's going to be a big one. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but usually it's pretty hot up there at Oak Creek. So make sure you start hydrating right now. Uh, like Jim said, Mike's going to be offering rentals as well up there at Oak Creek, and then they got the pump lap challenge, which I believe is 3 different age brackets, and Tangent is going to be sponsoring that. That's gonna be a good one. I know they did a pump lap open. Pump lap open. I think it was pump lap open like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and it was a good one. And they did side acts too, like 3 years ago, and had 12 show up. So that was a big one. You never know, dude. The side acts could show up over there at Oak Creek. Because if I remember right, it was 12. I know they had like 3 racks for sure. Because I remember I was there. Get a hold of Tiffany Erickson for rentals of the hacks. Okay, Jim, appreciate you tuning in with that one. That's a big thing. Let's see another one. Well, this is another one with Oak Creek. Oak Creek's put up their flyer for their state weekend. That's going to be coming up here in the middle of August. A lot of people not too happy about that one. They've seen that it's a $50 entry fee to go to Oak Creek for the state race, and this is coming from a lot of people that they were just up at Redwood and paid 35, and it's jumping up $15 for a state race, which the points are the points. The points don't really change. I mean, unless they're giving out a car, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to be there. I can't be there. I got to work, so I got no fight in the thing, so that's not me. Don't go accuse me of any of this shit, because I can't be there. I got to work. I mean, because if I didn't have to work, I would be there. I don't got the sign. I don't have a sign here in the living room there, Scott. Sorry, brother. What's up there, Top Finale? How you doing? East Moline BMX Gold Cup yesterday. 64 motos, over $1,000, and 50-50 split up. Close to 300 riders. Damn, Paul. Pow! Pow! Boom! 95 degrees. Damn, 95 degrees over there? Jesus Christ. You got some of that California weather going over there, bro. I'm sure the humidity is worse than what we got over here. We don't have any humidity. We just got that dry shit. The track can charge what they need to. There's no set cost. Yeah, no, hey, Scott, hey, I totally get it. It's up to the tracks. If they want to go and ruffle feathers on other folks, that's on them, man. Hey, I got no fighting to say of it. I'm not worried about it. That's on them. You know, but I know there was a lot of squabble going on before I went live about it, because a lot of people were getting off of work and they were getting home. They were starting to eat dinner. They started scrolling through Facebook, and then they see the flyer, and then they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like, hey. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go live. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's $50 for a double points state race. But that's where like a lot of people are coming off. Where I was like, I was up way up north, like damn near to the Oregon border, up at Redwood. Shout out to Redwood, and they only charged 35. They had great trophies up there. So I don't know. I don't know the whole deal. I know it fluctuates. Some people are 35, 45. Now you got 50. It's almost like being an auctioneer right now, like with the entry fees, like on the local side of it, where people start getting kind of like pissed off, and then it's just like, well, they see the price tag of it, and it's just like, well, we were just up there racing for 35. You got this for 50. Well, we ain't gonna go there. Hey, that's on y'all. Hell yeah, Hartman, I'm still flapping my gums. Hey, it's my Saturday, Richard. You know, it's my Saturday. I get to flap my gums all the way through Tuesday, dude. I don't go to work till Wednesday, bro. It's BMX. There's always something to be squabbling about. Well, you know what? Old school, you know better than anybody that there is always something to squabble about, bro. Okay? like, I mean, I'm just saying, you know firsthand there, Scott. I mean, because you are the man, the myth, the legend. You are the guy. You know, I mean, like, you're like the Pope of BMX. I know of a track that charges $6 for single point races. Hey, I know a track that does $5. They do $5 weeklies, and you can race 3 times a week. Like it's crazy. You know the price grab between a lot of the tracks. You know, sure, you know, you get to some of these tracks where it's just like, okay, they got timing. It's a great facility. You know what? It's worth the price. But then you get to some of the tracks where it's just like they have their set fee or whatever the price of what they got going on. It it doesn't match the facility or like the program on how they run it, where people are like, you know what, it's more than it's more of a headache than what it's worth to go. You know, where you go in, you know, happy Saturday. Hey, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. I love you, brother. uh, you know, you get in, you go to a track like we went to this weekend. Okay, Redwood, 57 motos, ran smooth as can be. They had volunteers from Ukiah, Rusty Bowl BMX that came up and helped with scoring and doubled over. And I'm talking, we were bing bang done. Plenty of daylight left, ready to go. Right? Small track. Great, just hometown local people that run a BMX track up there at Samoa and McKinleyville. Great staff, just great people, you know, and with like nothing out of the ordinary as far as like staff and board or whatever. We're like running snack bars, running registration, you know, scoring, all the track people, track workers, you know, Oz, he was in here, Shreddy Eddie, like all those dudes. They're all track guys and raced and kept the track prime. Went off with a T. But then you go and 57 motos. But then you can go to some tracks that are a little bit bigger. They got a little bit bigger band of volunteers, right? And say they're in that 75 moto range, right? Just for an example. And sometimes you go to those tracks that have a shit ton of people volunteering and it's only 75 motos. Okay, cool. Should be cool. No problem. And it ends up being the longest goddamn day of your state race life. And you're just like, fuck this. Like, I ain't gonna, no, this is bullshit. You know? And those are the ones that, hey, maybe it's a $45 entry fee or $40 entry fee. Okay, well, hey, you look at it, you think nothing of it, but then you get there, it's just like constant delay. Next thing you know, middle of the goddamn night, you're trying to get out of there, you gotta go feed the kids, you gotta go check in the hotel, or you gotta go make a fucking goddamn 5-6 hour drive home. And then people are pissed. You know? Yeah, hey, them belt buckles were dope, Andre. Exactly, you know? You can't sneeze at it. It takes a team to keep that dirt track going. Exactly, Robert. And you know what? And that's the best thing, Robert. I'm going to say that too. And I told that to Carl. You know, it's a blessing to go back to those tracks that are still dirt. Those BMX tracks that are still dirt with no slurry, no asphalt. That's why I always go to Redwood. It takes skill. Same thing with the kids. A lot of the kids that were up at Redwood, You know, they're on soil tack, they're on asphalt turns. A lot of them couldn't go and figure out how to race dirt because they never got to experience it. But then there's other kids, they're able to adjust and adapt and make it happen this weekend. That was the best part about announcing. It was freaking great. What's up, Summer? Mike, don't wow me, dog. Don't wow me on the show, dude. Always have to adapt to the track. Yeah, exactly, Summer. Then the extra $5 or $10 sounds like a lot. No, for sure, Richard. We know how far people drive up here to Humboldt. We take pride in running a smooth race, family affair, Humboldt hospitality. Exactly, Orlando. That's the thing. That is what's up. No, it makes a big freaking difference. You know? You know? And that's the thing. That's one of the big things I think that the sport is missing too. You know, and this goes back to a handful of years ago when they took everybody off of clips. They took the younger kids. What I think the cutoff was 12. You couldn't run clips if you were under 12. You had to go back to flat pedals because they wanted to take it back to the fundamentals of BMX. Okay, but where's the fundamentals if you're soil tacking, slurrying, and asphalting everything? You know, your dirt is the fundamentals. You know, that's what a lot of people like are forgetting. It's not the clips versus the flats. You're taking everybody back to flats, but then you're asphalting and soil tacking everything. Like it makes no sense. You know, but hey, that's it. That's gonna do it for Monday night, guys. I mean, unless anybody else has anything else to chime in about, throw it in there in the comment section. We'll talk about it. But other than that, hey, you heard Justin Tompkins. The track versus track is gonna be freaking fire. It's already closed off. Get ready for Saturday night. It's gonna be a good one. All right. I'm just saying. So put it in there. You know, dirt track is amazing for the mental part of the sport. Exactly, Summer. Dude, it's a big thing. I hope Lincoln Bike Park remains dirt. Well, you never know, Andre. I mean, you got Donald Jones up there and the People's Boys. They've been big in BMX their whole life. I see it probably staying as dirt. Because the People dudes, like, their heart is set in stone for BMX. That's a big thing. And I don't see it changing. I mean, maybe down the road, maybe, but in the beginning part, no, I think it's gonna be fine. You know, uh, hey, I like the glue. You know what, Hartman, I understand it too, and it's a big thing too with depending on your staff and your volunteers. I understand it's a maintenance thing. It's a big part of it. I get it. I understand that part. You know, but still, like, you get those tracks though that burn the bridges with their volunteers. When you burn the bridges with your volunteers that help maintain your track that is dirt, then that's usually when people revert to asphalt and soil tagging because they're losing volunteers. They're pissing people off. When your volunteers are happy and everybody's good and kosher, you know, just like up at Redwood, Carl has his track dudes. He's got them lined up and they are racing and they're taking care of that track freaking feverishly. That's when you have a good program. You know, that speaks a lot right there. That's when you know you're doing a good job. It's not always the moto count. It's what people say. Okay. So remember that. Of course, Orlando. Hey, great seeing you this weekend, Jason. Hey, good stuff as always, bro. And I will see you again. Well, I'll see you at state finals. but I'll be up there again next year, bro. You know, look at the kids had to adapt at Worlds. Yeah, no, hey, there's always adapting, and you just have to put it together. Summer, honestly, you really do. You know, and but that's what makes a good rider. You know, you hey, win some, lose some. You take a little bit here. You know, you take what you learned, and then when you come back, then it's like, hey, I know what I got to work on. You know, that's the big thing. Constantly been BMXing my whole life. I'm still a student of the game. You know, I'm nothing great. I'm nothing fast. I just love the sport, and there's always something to work on. You know, so anywho, guys, that's gonna do it for a show. Appreciate all you guys. Everybody be cool. Have a great rest of your Monday. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you watch All Things BMX on Wednesday with Cheeto Drury, the Mad Viking. It's you are not going to be disappointed at all. I'm just saying. I'm a big Cheeto fan. Cheeto's one of my homies. He's a big West Coast guy. He's going to be representing on All Things BMX. So make sure you guys tune into the chat on Wednesday with All Things BMX. Check it in. Get ready for Saturday when we break down the brackets from the top 32 down to 16 for the track versus track challenge. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. And we will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.